We've got 58 stitches. Very nice. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 single crochets. And then we are going to do increase, and 5 single crochets. And we're going to do that 9 times. At the very end, you're going to only have 2 stitches over here left. Okay, so that way you guys don't have to try to count. Increase, 5 single crochets. So just repeat an increase and 5 single crochets until you have 2 stitches left. And I will meet you guys when we get done with that. So we start with an increase and then 5 single crochets. And I'll meet you when we have 2 stitches left. Okay, we have 2 stitches left. And then here we're going to go ahead and we'll do an increase and a single crochet. Now we want to go ahead and do 1 round of single crochets. 68 stitches is what we should have. Okay, 68 stitches. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do 5 single crochets and then an increase. And we're going to actually do this all the way around until you have 2 stitches remaining, and I will meet you back there. Okay, here we are. We have 2 stitches left. So we're going to go ahead and just single crochet in each one of those. All right, so the next we're going to do is we're going to go around and do 78 single crochets. And then the very last stitch here, we're going to do an increase. That's going to put us a total of 80 stitches. So 78 all the way around, and then an increase in your very last stitch of the round. Okay, see you guys back then. All right, so make sure you guys have your, not the broken stitch markers, you have stitch markers ready. Let's get rid of these so I don't grab it. We are going to want to use our stitch markers on this. It definitely helps on this. So we are doing really well. We got our eyes done, and now we're going to start building us our mouth. And the bigger this gets, the further I keep trying to move this camera, but it's just maybe not going to get far enough. We're going to see. I told you this is going to end up being a pretty darn big hat. Okay, so let's start with 24 single crochets. And then let's place our stitch marker on that 24th single crochet. There's 22, 23, and 24. Go ahead and place a stitch marker. Now we're going to single crochet 32. Okay, got my 32. I'm going to be stopping the video on some of these long stretches so that we're not eating up more recording video time. We're going to chain 1, we're going to turn, and we're going to single crochet 32 back to the stitch marker. Okay, you guys got your second row of 32 stitches. Go ahead and chain 1 and turn, and we're going to do 32 single crochets once more. So this should be our third time of doing 32 single crochets down the row. Okay guys, we made it back around with our third row of 32 stitches. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull this up, and we're going to bring our hook, oops, that's the other one. So we're going to come down here to the very first stitch of 32, or the last stitch of the first row of 32. Anyway, either way, we're going to come in like this, down in here, where there is a stitch already. And we're going to go ahead and slip stitch. And you want this to be tight. Keep that up there nice and tight. We need to keep that mouth folded. And now from here, we're going to go ahead and proceed with the final 24 stitches back to our stitch marker. So we've got 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Very nice. Okay, let's go ahead and move our stitch marker up. And now we are going to single crochet 24. We should be landing on our stitch marker. And I have, here's 20, 1, 22, 23, and of course we will move the stitch marker, whoops, and this will be 24. Okay, so from here we're going to go ahead and just join with the slip stitch to this top stitch here, and we'll slip stitch that in and nice and tight. And then we're going to go right back into this, and we're going to single crochet 32. So we're going to do 32 up here, and we're going to come down, and we're going to do 24 back around to the beginning here, okay? I will leave you guys to do this on your own, and I'll meet you guys back here. I am at stitch, we're going to do 32. Remember, 32 is the up, 24 is the down. Okay, guys, you made 24. I hope you caught that that first one needs to go in here. I'm sure when you didn't get 24, you went back, so make sure we have these all, everything is going good. Okay, so before we begin round 42, what we need to do is go ahead and count, or go ahead and crochet. That's the first. Go ahead and crochet 24 single crochets and place your stitch marker in there. After that, I want you to go ahead and count from your stitch marker this direction, 24 stitches, and place your stitch marker in here. Okay, so you guys, I've already got my 24 done. Now we're going to do 32 stitches across, front loop only. So what we want to do is, there's going to be this stitch, little stitch right here, and you guys may need to count it to see if you guys have the same thing that I have. we're going to skip that. Go ahead and count 32 and see if you guys have that extra stitch that's sitting there. That was like the slip stitch. So then we're going to do front loop only, 32 single crochets across. I'm going to meet you at the end of the 32 front loop only, which should be at the stitch marker. And this is a little difficult with the size we're getting, so turn it sideways, do what you need to do, and then I can just meet you back here. All right, you guys made it to the end of the front loop only. Now we're going to chain one, and we're going to turn our work, and we're going to single crochet across both loops now, 32. I want you guys to chain one and turn 3 more times. So you should have 4 rows of 32 stitches, including this one that's a back loop only. So just chain one, turn 32, and 30 until we have 4 rows of 32 single crochets. And I will meet you guys back here when you have finished that. Okay, so we've made our 4 rounds of 32 stitches. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our first row. So this is why we have this stitch marker here that kind of help us out. And then we're going to grab this loop and we're going to pull this through and make a slip stitch. So now what you want to do is you want to you're going to skip 2 stitches because we're only going to single crochet 30 across. So if you want to go back and you want to count to 30, and that's when we're going to go ahead and introduce our hook back to the top. And I'll show you that here in just a sec. Okay, so we're going to go right there. But if I were you guys, go ahead and just count backwards and go ahead and come in with your single crochet. And we want to make sure that's nice and tight. This is going to fold our mouth together. And then we're going to single crochet across 30. $29 and $30. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come down to the first row, which is going to be right up here. And then we're going to go ahead and slip stitch this down nice and tight. And what this is going to do is put our mouth like this. Okay. And slip stitch, probably finish that. And then we're going to go ahead and single crochet 24 back to the beginning of our round. And I will see you guys back at the beginning of the round. Okay? All right. Good luck. All right, guys. We did it. We made it around. So now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet. We really don't need our stitch markers anymore. All of our hard stuff is actually done. Thank goodness. So what we want to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to single crochet all the way around. And we should have 80 single crochets. If you need to reduce or make up a stitch, this is the round to do it in. So one more time, we're going to go all the way around 80 single crochets. and fix it if you need to fix it. Okay, and I will see you guys back around. Okay, guys, I hope that was okay. So what I did was I knew that this was 24. So I went real tight in here, and then I did have to add one down here to get my 80 stitches. Okay, so these last handful of rounds, I'm going to do them very quickly with you guys. So I'm going to come in on the video, tell you what to do, jump off, come in, jump off, because these are really big rounds with lots of numbers. Okay, so our next round is going to be 9 single crochets and an increase, landing on with 88 stitches. 9 single crochet increase all the way around. See you next time. Okay, back around, 88 stitches. We did, that round was 9 single crochet increase. So now that we have 88 stitches, we are going to do 6 rows of 88 stitches. And I will see you guys in quite a little while once you have finished your 6 rows. Okay, hope you guys are done with your 6 rows. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a round of 5 single crochet increase. So it'll be 3, 4, 5, and then an increase. And we're going to do that all the way around. You should, when you get back around, you should have 4 single crochets left. Just go ahead and single crochet into those 4 last single crochets, and I will meet you guys back here. All right, guys. I know this is the exhausting part, all these rows. It's very boring, but it's got to be done, right? Okay, so next what we're going to do is 2 rows. We should have 102 stitches if this worked out for you guys. This stitch count is not really a very big deal at all. All we're doing is making this hat bigger and a big old brim. And so, yeah, I wouldn't stress. I wouldn't even count if I were you guys. It's not, like I said, it's not a big deal at all. So what I want to do now at 102 stitches, like I said, doesn't matter, is go ahead and we're going to do 2 rounds of the 102 stitches. And again, I'll see you guys in a little bit when you're done with your 2 rounds. Okay, we made it around with our 2 rows, and now we're going to do, let's do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do an increase in 5 single crochets, and we are going to repeat that, the increase 5 single crochets all the way around until we have 3 stitches left. So at this point, increase 5 single crochets, increase 5 single crochets, and I'll see you guys back around. All right, we made it around. We have 3 stitches left. We'll go ahead and do an increase and 2 more single crochets, 1 and 2. All right, so we should have 119 stitches. Not that it really matters at this point, guys. But now what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 rounds of this 119 stitches. So I guess I'll see you guys back here in an hour or so once you get the 5 rounds done. And we're getting on the home stretch. So keep up the good work, everybody. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, we're really starting to get somewhere, aren't we? Okay, so now what we're going to do in this row, just this one row, we're going to do this all in the front loop only. This is going to bring that bill straight out of the hat. So we want to do that front loop only on this round. It should have 138 stitches. We're going to do 5 single crochet increase 19 times. We should end with 5 single crochets left in the stitch. And so I will meet you guys back here. 5 single crochets increase. Remember, we're doing front loop only. And I'll meet you guys back in a while again. Okay, we made it around. We have 5 stitches left, and we are going to go ahead and just do 5 single crochets in that front loop only. And now we are going to do 2 rows, should be 138 stitches. This is both loops. And we'll do 2 rows, and I will meet you guys back here at the end of 2 rows. All right, guys. 2 rounds down. Here we go. Now, what we're going to do is this thing's getting pretty darn big now, isn't it? I don't know what size yarn you guys used or hook, but mine's getting ferociously big. Okay, so now we're going to just do 5 single crochet increase all the way around. 3, 4, 5, and an increase, and I'll meet you guys back here when you're done with all of that. Okay, so that was our last increase. Oh, now we are getting to the very end of our huge, really big hat that's going on here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is 6 rows. We should have 161 single crochets. Again, at this point, it doesn't matter. We're going to do 6 rows, and then we'll meet back up to make the strings. Okay, guys, we made it. Can you believe it? Feels like the last 6 rows are just the most unbearable. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and finish off this end real nice here. So go ahead and cut your yarn, and let's pull it through. And then we're going to go ahead and take our needle. And this is a great way to finish off the rim of something without the slip stitch chain one, and you have that little burger there. So what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and let's skip this stitch here. Let me get down here a little closer for you guys. We're going to go ahead and skip this stitch. And this is done a lot in when you do baskets because you want a nice clean trim. We're going to go through the back of the second stitch. We're going to make a stitch here. And then we'll go the stitch that your yarn is coming out of, your working yarn. We're going to go through the center and then come in through the back like this. And then we cinch that up, and we just made the top of a single crochet. And that looks really sharp, so you can't really tell where you ended at. And then we're going to go ahead and just weave in our end as best. Then we're going to move on to the ties that hang down. They just hang there. They don't really tie. So what we'll end up doing is we're going to fold our hat in half because we want that centered the best that we can. So I'm going to go ahead and take this back up again. So go ahead and get your face, which is all mushed up right now because we've been playing with it, centered. Okay. And do you see where we have where we did our front post only? We have that little ridge right here. We're going to go ahead and find the 2 corners as the best can be. It doesn't have to be exact. You can make it exact if you want, of course. And let's go ahead and attach our yarn here. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to chain 50. And then I'll meet you at the end of your chain 50. Okay, so I've done my chain 50. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and start with the second chain from the hook. And we're just going to slip stitch all the way back up to the top. And once you get to the top, you can slip stitch back to where you had come out of. and go ahead and I would tie a knot in this and then weave in my ends. This with the tail that you have left over. I would tie a knot and then go ahead and weave in your ends and get the other side done. So you guys can see, and I cannot even get this thing any higher. So this is the hat. That is a size 3 yarn with a 2.5 millimeter hook. Very little. This I did with the 4-ply yarn, and I actually jumped to a 3.5 on this. And you guys can see there is a huge, huge difference. So there is no way that if you guys decide to go ahead and do the entire outfit, and you go to the link that I posted below for the Harry Potter diaper cover and the rest of that stuff I was talking about, that you can go with a big 3-ply yarn. So before you guys do the project, we can do the diaper cover and the scarf with the 4-ply yarn, but you are not going to be able to do the hat. It is just too big, way, way, way too big. You're going to need to find a brownish. Like I said, I did a real light color on this so that you guys could see my stitches. But this just gives you an idea of where you need to go. Now, if you guys are just making this hat for somebody, for an adult or a child, this is cool. This is perfect. Even if it's just for somebody as a gift for a decoration on a shelf, this size is awesome because you really get some nice, good, big, detailed eyes and mouth. This one is a little bit smaller to distinguish, but if you're doing the baby outfit, you definitely going to need to go with something smaller like this. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got through it. I hope everything looks okay for you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please check out the link below for the Harry Potter outfit itself, baby outfit. And like always, please like, share, and subscribe. Good day. Till next time.